Okay, Dorothy Rowe here. I'm sitting on Mack Avenue between Indian Hills in Detroit and the east side, lower east side of Detroit. East side of Detroit. And what we're sitting on right here is the actual physical spot where the boundary, which blocks the flow of affluence and wealth and support for the people of Detroit, is right here in this area. We're sitting right on it. It's an energy, there's a subtle energy structure right here. We'll give you some beautiful footage of the dichotomy between the wealth that we're sitting facing this direction and absolutely deeply embedded. It's enmeshed in the earth, and it goes down in the earth. I'm just following it. It's like the boundary has a matrix-like quality to it. It goes deep into the ground. It's a matrix in that it's comprised of threads of consciousness held together with nodes. And I'm getting the read on it, and I'm just going back into the source of creation to please ask what can be done. This boundary, this matrix of blockage is blocking the flow of the vast resource of this area to support its children, to support the people. This blockage needs to now be dissolved, and it needs to be dissolved with tenderest compassion, tenderest understanding and empathy for everyone. It has to do with it's playing off the quality of diversity of humanity. It's using or utilizing the diversity of humanity as like a turn pin or like a pivotal point on which this barrier or boundary is structured. I'm looking, I'm still looking, I'm still looking, I'm still looking, I'm still looking. Okay, I got it. One of the elements here that's sitting in this matrix is fear, and the fear we dealt with in the last video, but we're looking at it at a deeper level, and it has to do with this fear is connected to and associated with diversity in humanity. It is strangely ironic and not even a coincidence at all that this wealthy area is named after Native Americans. Every street is named Iroquois and Seneca and so forth, all the streets in this area. The first people that were here, the first race that was pushed out of this area, that was blackmailed and boundaries placed around them. This boundary, it sits not just in this area, it sits around the reservations in this country, around the Indian reservations. I knew there was a connect when we were driving through it. We'll show you some pictures as we go along as well. We just want you to get a feel for, everyone to get a feel for what's happening with this boundary, because the dissolution of this boundary is the key to quality of life and the resources that everybody needs to progress and evolve with grace and with dignity for absolutely everyone. Absolutely everyone. And much of it is built on ignorance. The fear and the ignorance are going together in layers in this matrix. And so now the fear and ignorance have to clear. I'm just asking the Mother Creation best way to do it. It's not up to me anyway. I'm asking. So the light of being is shining into this matrix, is the primordial light, Adi Shakti light, this first energy, the deepest, most abstract level of creation energy is moving into this matrix, and it's bringing clarity, transparency, wisdom, And with it is washing away layer upon layer of fear. Every layer of blockage of truth held a layer of fear next to it. So the whole thing is just melting down. We're melting out here like an ice cream cone melting. There's the boundaries blocking a massive amount of energy that's in the earth in this area. And this energy has been so blocked up that it's been sort of building up like in almost an explosive sort of way. When we sit in this area where this boundary is right here at this Mack Street or Mack Avenue, Mack it's called, there's a huge buildup of energy between these two areas. So I'm just feeling that energy, and I'm feeling its need for release. I'm asking Mother, what is the best way to open up the flow of this energy so it can nourish and nurture the people in this area, with the people on both sides of Mack Avenue, particularly the side where the people aren't being nourished as much. That's the side that needs the support. Right there, right there. So this is what's happening. And the reason I'm sitting on this spot was I felt the barrier begin on the Indian Hills side of Mack Avenue. That's where the barrier begins. That's why we're sitting on this spot. The bees are coming to the flowers around me, so it's a good sign. That means nature is supporting here. There's the quality and the resource of energy on this spot where this boundary is just boggling, mind-boggling. There's so much energy here. It's like we're on some kind of an energetic hot spot. But I'm still feeling layers and layers of fear and blockage of truth and wisdom flowing. So I'm just asking back to Mother if there's something. I'm focusing energy back like that to the source of creation and watching it multiply the energies which are dissolving the blockage. And what they're doing is very interesting. This particular blockage is very concise. Like you literally feel it as you walk across the street. That's how like clear and intense that blockage is. And what I'm seeing happening is the energy of divinity is focusing in like the way a magnifying glass would focus sunlight. It's doing that. It's like pinpointing it right into the heart of this barrier. Got it. We found it. The heart of this barrier is literally held in the hearts of certain individuals. We're doing a cleansing on these hearts. We're doing a cleansing. The individuals who are responsible for setting up this barrier have used energy technologies to create the barrier in the first place. But behind these technologies is not totality, is not a complete reverence for all life. It's a very isolated perspective that's behind that. So this is what has to stop. In the hearts, it's a very isolated perspective. I'm looking into the heart of Mother of Creation to please find a way to pull those pins out. They're like little sharp daggers in the heart chakras of the individuals who are responsible for the setting of this boundary. Like pins about that long and black and sharp. And they're in the heart chakras. And their souls will be so relieved to release this poison. They're like poisoned little darts. There it goes. Everybody's soul deserves to be released from the poison darts. It's okay. It's okay. Behind it, there's a big body of energy, of dark energy, but it's a little diffused. So the diffuseness of it gives me hope that we can, in the diffusion of the dark energy that's behind the little black dart things, is the color of the water of the Detroit River, this beautiful, beautiful aquamarine, greenish, emeraldish, greenish, pure, pure color is able to penetrate into that diffused dark energy that's behind the darts. And that, thank you, is doing the job. That is doing the job, thank you. It's opening, it's opening, it's still opening. I'm going into my silence so that the opening happens instantly. We just want everyone to feel so much better. Everyone deserves to feel so much better. There it is. And you know, it's very interesting. Where the dark energy that was behind these little dark pins that were in the heart chakras, where it met the pins, the color is turning to gold. And those pins, I'm just feeling it dissolve. It has to dissolve. It's dissolving for centuries. Those pins have been present in the physiologies and the heart chakras of certain people for a very long time. Generations and centuries. So we're going back 1, 2, 3, 4 generations, 5 generations. 4 generations, in some cases 5. Very good. Beautiful. Holding silence so that that energy can thoroughly and completely circle back to totality, circle back to wholeness, circle back to the source of creation. It's good. Thank you everyone for joining me. Thank you Butterfly for joining me. And bees. Bye.